Welcome to Courageous Conviction. Remember that Jeff and I record each Saturday 5 episodes. So please hit the like button, subscribe so you catch all 5 episodes. We usually start out with one theme or topic. We have to go down a lot of rabbit holes to really understand it. Some things are more sensitive than others right now, what's going on in the world. So hit the like button, subscribe, and let's jump into this video.
Yep.
I know you a little bit.
Yep.
And so it's difficult you to take a big chunk of that money now, because now you're a widow, so you're collecting a little bit of money here. It would be beautiful to live off of and have enough to shop every month.
I would have had, yes.
Yes. And I've seen you make this huge effort now to try to discipline yourself from your shopping.
Yes.
And pay tithing.
Pay my tithing.
And you just went back to the temple for the first time in 35 plus years.
Yeah, I finally made it back to the temple. And
tell us a bit about that experience. How was that experience?
That was a beautiful experience. I went into the temple. Well, you know, before we even going to the temple, after I went back into church, I'm coming back into church. I've already have my endowments. So I went to the bishop and talked to the bishop and told him that I want to go to the temple. I want to get back to the temple. I'm missing that, and I'm missing wearing my garments. And he said, well, there's no reason that you can't wear your garments. You're paying tithing and you're obeying the words of wisdom in the church. You know, you're obeying the policies, the things that we believe in, and you don't believe in.
Basically, he informed you that no matter what, you should be wearing your garments.
You should be wearing your garments. He made it. So I was so excited when he and his secretary who tried to help me order them online. It was just that the minute I put them on, I felt like $1 million. I felt whole again. I felt so good. I just can't explain the feeling. It was just such a beautiful spiritual experience, and I was just in awe over how I felt. And then I couldn't wait. I was so excited to get back to the temple. And then going into the temple was absolutely beautiful. And it was lovely. I went in, rode up with the stake president and the first counselor, my granddaughter and her husband. And he was going through for the first time. And it was just a beautiful experience. I can't say. And I felt spirit so strong in the temple. I just felt, and I actually even felt the spirit of my first husband who had passed away. I felt him there at the same time. And I knew that even though I didn't love him, I wasn't in love with him, but the fact that we were sealed together and our family is sealed together, I don't want to get a temple divorce or anything like that, so that I can be sealed to my late husband, whom I dearly love. And I just felt this beautiful, beautiful feeling came over me. And now I'm working towards having my one of my grandsons who just came home from a mission be baptized for my husband, do the proxy for my husband. And then after I pass away, then somebody can go in and do the marriage and seal to my second husband. Which I didn't know you could, but my bishop told me you could.
No, you can't actually. You can't.
Okay,
You can. No, you can only be sealed to one.
Oh,
yeah, you can only be sealed to one. But that'll all work out later. You know, you have a seal. You make a sealing now, and in a situation like that, whether it's a divorce and remarriage and so forth, that you have agency still. That all gets worked out later. Because you're sealed with somebody, and later you find out I don't want to spend eternity with this person. Father, there's a way that's all going to work out. How it's all going to work out, I don't know, but we know our doctrine is that it all works out. You still have agency, and you know, it'll work itself out. Now, I to kind of bring this, kind of wrap this up a little bit. I once wanted to ask, your testimony. What would you tell people today that maybe are struggling out there with their testimonies today? There's a lot of confusion going on out there in the church.
So much confusion.
What would you tell people today about? Because I mean, those 35 years away. Let me ask this question first. 35 years away. do you, when we're away from so long, there's a growth that we miss. Though we may stay active doing certain things, we may even go to different churches. But as you said earlier,
There's a growth.
what you felt the lack of in those other churches, like I felt, and I identified it later, was the lack of proper authority to be in those positions. That's why they might be good people, right? But that authority that was restored through Jesus Christ is what makes, when people go to church, that's what you feel is that proper priesthood authority. Maybe you don't realize that at this point, but when we're away from that, I know for myself being away from it, I look back and I think to myself, boy, had I stayed active, how much more
Stronger,
knowledge and stronger would I be
stronger
today?
would
Yeah.
you be,
Yeah.
and the knowledge
Yeah.
would be. So I think about that all the time. Had I not, I should have listened to conferences, the talks at the conferences. I had the opportunity to, but I didn't do it. I should have listened to so now I go back and try to listen to older conference talks, which are so fulfilling. They feel so, well, I say fulfilling. It's just a beautiful experience. Having our conferences is a wonderful experience. We're taught so much through General Conference.
So what would you tell people today that are out there struggling with their testimony? Not only just in the church, but even their testimonies in Christ in general. That's a lot what's happening today in our society.
We're falling away.
Yeah, we're just falling away.
Christ, from God in Christ. They don't believe. I feel that it's so important that you do believe. It's so, there's no way that we just showed up here. This world was just created by itself. It just evolved out of nothing, or that it was here ahead of time before all time and eternity. This was created by God and by Jesus. This world was put together in 7 days, does the Bible. I say cling to the Bible, study the Bible, read the Bible, study the Book of Mormon. And we're studying the Book of Mormon now in church, which is absolutely beautiful. We have a wonderful Sunday school teacher who just really plans out her class.
A well-prepared class draws in listeners.
We have so many people now that have come into the class. We've had to move into one of the conference rooms. That we have so many people in our Sunday school.
Somebody fulfilling their measure and their calling.
She is doing an excellent job. It's a blessing to have her as a teacher. We have Sister Campbell, just a wonderful one with a strong testimony. And it's so important to have testimony. It's a beautiful thing to have testimony. And it's just, and Satan is there. Oh, and since I've gone to the temple, Satan has done so many things. Probably within a week, one woman had some things to say about me, and she's somebody close to my family, and it really hurt me. Not that it's hurt, it's embarrassed. She just made up some stuff about me. I wanted to know, when did Bonnie get religion in her life? And just said some awful things.
Church member?
No, she's a non-believer. She doesn't believe in God. She doesn't believe in Jesus. And I've tried to talk to her about God and Jesus. She's older, and she thought she was going to die 5 years ago. And she can't wait to die because she thinks that it's just over, that there'll be nothing. And trying to explain to her that it isn't just
what over. What a sad way to live.
Isn't it? That's very sad.
No purpose.
No purpose. Nope.
Let me close with this. Let me close with this, if we may.
I thank you for being with us on Courageous Conviction. Remember, there's 5 episodes each week that we put out. We have to go down a lot of rabbit holes, so stay with us. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and don't miss tomorrow's episode on Courageous Conviction.